Deep in the heart of this 6 million acre wilderness lies the world-renowned Londolozi Game Reserve. The broad grasslands and speckled woodlands make this the perfect home to the big cats of Africa. And inside these wild lands, there is a territorial fight brewing. The long-standing Kruger Coalition had reigned for years, fighting and killing all who got in their way. Yet their territory was in dispute with the arrival of new lions. The 5 Majingilane males. Giving up territory was not part of the Kruger plan. Tensions were mounting. Enforcing their rule, the Kruger's killed a Majingilane male. A day later, the Majingilane Coalition, in a preemptive attack, invaded the Kruger territory to vindicate their loss. Another dawn breaks at Londolozi. Abundant animals live out their lives, unknowingly intertwined with each other, each playing their role in the ecosystem, each with their own code of living, each with their own tactics for survival. Some fighting harder than others, yet surviving all the same. The Majingilane Coalition was now in control, and their territory would only continue to spread across this great wilderness. Each of the 4 males had their own specific character. The black-maned male, the male with the scar nose, the male with the hip scar, the golden-maned male, the young lioness from the Salala Pride. An agile and dynamic huntress. She was the first lion to be taken over. Her impala stolen by the marauding Majingilane, who argued amongst themselves for the feast. After killing the cubs of the pride and trying to mate with her, she was most certainly not going to put up without a fight. Eventually, she succumbed to the male with the hip scar. And set in motion the steps toward a new lineage. Seasons change, and the conquest must continue. The Sparta Pride had barely made their kill when the commotion began. The males were greedy and would regularly take ownership of food, land and females from the rest of the pride. Over 200 kilograms of muscle, teeth and claws. Is hard to argue with. The males were a formidable combination. And like all takeovers, the passing of the genes was paramount. The coalition had got what they wanted. There was the smell of new males around. And later that evening, the vocalizations of the Southern Pride Coalition was heard by the Majingilane males. By morning, the inexperienced young lions of the Southern Pride had lost one of their males to the wind. It is not for us to decide what happens here. Yet all was not well in the pride. The coalition would frequently fight amongst themselves for dominance and for females. The golden-maned male was the least dominant, often separated from the pride, listening for their calls in the night sky, while they asserted dominance elsewhere. he would have to fight for a portion of the kill. Losing out to the bigger members of the coalition. The hierarchy of dominance was clear. And he was at the bottom. When the gorging was done, he would obtain permission to feed. Fighting the vultures for the scraps that were left. Even amongst family, dominance and pride are hard to dismiss. Yet there was one common enemy against which all lions fought united. The coalition, moving together on a territorial patrol, stumbled across a young hyena. Months earlier, a subadult lioness from the broken Salala pride was attacked by a clan. She would later die from her wounds. A pack of predators out for blood, the males raced forward to catch the hyena. Showing no mercy, the consequences of this rivalry was brutal and reinforced the eternal enemies of the wild. Let us spare the philosophies behind the behavior and rather appreciate these creatures for what they are. From these tiny cubs sired by the Majingilane to the domineering beasts they will grow into. Their actions are dedicated towards gaining control and preserving their bloodlines. And like anything, they will endure for a while. Lion warfare is an apt term. Each lion lives by the sword and dies by the sword. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. An existence without choice.